Joining me now is the Reverend Al Sharpton, president of the National Action Network and host of Politics Nation right here on MSNBC. He will deliver the eulogy at George Floyd's memorial service tomorrow. A lot of people, the country, the world are going to be watching that very important moment for this nation. Rev, it's great to have you with us. Let me begin by getting your thoughts, first of all, about this new civil rights investigation and how much faith you and the family think or have in that investigation from the Minneapolis into the Minneapolis Police Department as it is leading to meaningful reforms?
It will depend on who does the investigation. Clearly, it cannot be a Band-Aid to try to deal with something that needs surgery. It would be better positioned if it was done by an external force that showed a track record of being able to really deal in a way that people would have confidence and trust in its findings and its recommendations. But the other part of this is it must hold police that break the law criminally accountable. We cannot just have some tea and biscuits kind of reforms. We must say that there must be the law upheld against anyone that breaks the law, whether they wear blue jeans or blue uniforms. That's where it must begin, and they must study the abuses of law-breaking by officers, not just bad manners, not just interactions where they said things, but breaking the law that was excused and was not in any way held accountable. And then it would have credibility. Other than that, it's just an attempt to put a Band-Aid over something much deeper than that.
Rev, a lot of people who have been looking into the police department's tactics over the past couple of years are surprised that so much of this data was out in plain sight, and yet the alarm bells didn't go off. For example, the city's own figures show that the Minneapolis Police Department used force against black people at 7 times the rate of white people during the past 5 years. And some are calling now for new legislation on police reforms. Others want to defund police departments. I see that right here in Philadelphia. Where do you think the solution lies, not just in Minneapolis, but in cities across the country?
I think the solution lies where we were headed in the Obama administration, where many of us put pressure and was able to work with the Obama administration and Justice Department at that time, and that is consent decrees, where local police departments that had a pattern and practice of abuse or of dealing with situations that were not fair, they then took over those departments where the Justice Department guided it. I think you have to remove some of the municipalities from running the police department that have pattern and practice. But the problem is you have a Justice Department now that is not committed to the right principles, so you have to reform it where it is on a state level. I really think, though, that until we do that in terms of removing not only the funds, but removing those that are responsible for the ongoing pattern and practices, you will only make incremental steps and not solve the problem.
Hey, Rev, I gotta, before I let you go, ask you about tomorrow. As I mentioned, the entire country, the entire world is going to be watching the remarks that you're going to be giving in that eulogy. What message do you want to convey?
I want to first console the family and let them know that the world is with them. I want to also challenge the world on why are we here again. This man, George Floyd, was of value. His life is not something that is marginal or expendable and that people cannot be held accountable for. And we've been here before, whether it was Eric Garner, whether it was others that we have worked down through the years. And why are we continuing to go to funerals that were not scheduled and should not have been on our calendars and done at the hands of the people that we pay to protect us? And no one protected. They, in fact, were the ones that took the life of George Floyd. And the good news is, in a message of hope, is we've seen more people across racial lines stand up this time. We must seize the time to stop this, and we must seize the time to correct the policies and laws and enforcement of those laws so we don't keep going from one scene to the next in this battle around criminal justice reform.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.